I'm Frank Kanshi. This is The Wave. As we approach the end of 2024, we've seen some green lights and red lights in Thai economy. Of course, while Thailand wouldn't reach 3% of GDP by the end of this year, we've seen the volume of foreign direct investment has reached the highest since the pandemic. So joining me now, of course, is the former chairman of Joint Foreign Chambers of Commerce and business leader, Mr. Stanley Kang. Thank you for your time, Stanley.
Hello, Frank. Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see you too. So, of course, we have to talk about the economy in 2024. Of course, we've seen some GDP growth there, which is go to a good sign. But compared to other countries, it's quite slow figure here. So what do you think about Thailand's economy this year?
Okay, we can see that because the geography politics, and you already mentioned that a lot of new investments are coming. So my question is that, are we ready? So after the pandemic, a lot of economic reform is coming up, especially coming with a lot of new technology. So my comment was that we got to push up, we got to go faster. And change is always normal. Are you ready? Okay, with the new technology by automation, digitalization, and how we're moving forward for smart manufacturing. These days, we're always talking about AI, but are we ready for that, right? It's not just information, but how we use the information, how ourselves turn our country become for the next era of manufacturing. That's the key things. So I think the economic is in the transaction. I still see the light in the tunnel. There's a lot of opportunity in Thailand. By the number and amount of foreign investment interest to come into Thailand is a good signal. But whatever our existing business in different cluster, we got to move faster and on changing of our business model and business operation. That will be the key success for the next 3-4 years.
Before getting to your business, of course, strategies, I think one of the things we have to talk about is government's policy, because, of course, you think that you ask that question, are we ready? But compared to other countries, maybe Malaysia or Vietnam, right now we are a little bit lag behind. So what should the government do at this moment? Because, of course, we see the demand of 400 minimum wage, the raise of that, and, of course, digital wallet scheme. But how about the long-term policy that you want to see from the government?
I think the key things as the Joint Foreign Chamber of Commerce would always mention to the government is the deregulation. Okay, it's with the new technology and how to ease of doing business that I want to push for that, right? And especially, Thailand, the most popular word that we are always talking is giant yen. And these days, you cannot giant yen because the overall economic is a lot of changing. With the geography politics, with the geographic economic, and we got to position ourselves very clearly. And that's why we can attract the foreign investment. But when foreign investment coming, there are 2-3 things we're asking about our energy policy, about our deregulation, about the climate change issue, and a lot of other ESG issue. So are we ready? And global trade will be another new rule and regulation to implement very shortly. So we got to help a lot of SMEs, especially like the big brothers should help the small brother. Basically, I believe the big company in Thailand should not be a problem. But don't forget, 90% of our structure on business is based on the SME. How the government can help the SME, either on the technology transfer, on the knowledge management, on the financial support, and most important, on the deregulation for them to have the more easier business environment to ensure that on this ESG or digital transformation period, and we have no problem to deal with all this new economic model and economic business trading and then investment and business process.
Yeah, as what you said, SME are very important for Thailand's economy. But for the deregulation there, of course, I interviewed some CEOs. They also have planned to put their investment in Thailand, but they still talk about, for example, maybe visa waiver, the ownership in Thailand. So what do you think about that? What's the core issue of deregulation here? What's the example? Can you give us some examples here?
Okay, I'm talking about deregulation, just like when the government, we talking about digitalization, right? And then not just company will do it, the government have to do it. don't forget the government have the biggest data, right? How we evaluate efficiency of a company from the personal to company to the government, right? And how long the process is going to do, right? We see that the AI is coming, but are we using all this data to become more efficiency and to become more valuable for the business or for the society? So you've been talking about all this digital wallet. Digital wallet is not a digital wallet; it's a total digitalization in the life and in the business model. Okay, so you see that today, even with the banking system, with all this law, every time we sign up so many documents, and it's a waste of paper, right? So how we move our country to become a digital country with a lot of rule and regulation, you got to restructure it. Otherwise, we are losing our efficiency. So I told a lot of people, even my company, when we go up digitalization, automation, digitalization, smart manufacturing, that the things all the investment you will return by your efficiency and the quality. So efficient and quality of work, that's what we're the focus. Thailand today is not a cheap labor country. It's not a cheap land country. So we are not offering any cheap opportunity, but we have to offer more valuable investment in Thailand. So restructure on the labor force, restructure on our workforce, right? So Thailand is no more the labor-intended investment country. So when foreign investment country invest in this country, we should make sure that to then the foreign investment, even the local investment knows that what will be the next arrow of our industrial and our cluster, and then what is the key things of our competitiveness in the market, in the global position.
Yeah, this is what actually some international organizations leader told me, that sharing the similar opinions, like you said, digitalization, the innovation, and the digital technologies that can really uplift Thailand to another level. I think because this year we see the economic data here. It's not, of course, it's in a moderate level for Thailand. So what's your strategy since the beginning of this year? You see the GDP growth, you see some economic blockage there. How do you really navigate the 2024 since the beginning of this year? Because we see some challenges.
I think we have been very clear position for Thailand. But one thing I have to really warm up and to speed up louder is that implementation, right? Not just talk. We got to take in action. I know nothing is easy. Life, everybody difficult, everybody challenging. But I still see a lot of opportunity. We got to work hard, take action, and make sure that during this digitalization, and can we catch up with the new technology to do all this automation, digitalization, and smart manufacturing. Like Jason Huang just come, right? We talk about AI. AI, you're going to do it. You cannot just talk about it. So I believe there's a lot of information there, and we come to the next arrow. It's not just industrial 4.0. It's coming up with the 5.0. It's not the 5G, and then it's the 6G era. How are we going to position ourselves? How are we going to work on that? So in fact, I also want to voice out. If we always talk about the minimum wage, I don't think that's the right policy. We must thinking that what kind of policy and what kind of thing we do, we can create a better value of a job in Thailand, right? So how to reskill and upskill our people, focus on the short-term, mid-term, and long-term education and system to make sure that we bring in the best talent into the country, and they're willing to work together and to make sure that on our transformation of our economy, to ensure the competitiveness of our economy in the ASEAN and then in Asia and in the world.
I mean, this is a very important point. You talk about 400 minimum wage there, because this, of course, particularly for a minimum wage worker or blue collar worker there. But how about the long-term strategy there? Because as what you said, Jensen Huang, the NVIDIA CEO, just came to Thailand to sign a deal with Thailand's company for AI growth and AI center here. But actually, he went to other countries in the region, especially Vietnam, for a bigger deal here. So what Thailand's government can do, or the business can do, can really attract more digitalization, or those companies which focus on AI, focus on data center, is very important. next question I think we have to ask to you is the 2025 challenges, because we've seen potential tariff hike from American government, from the United States. So what do you think about that? Because this might aggravate the weak export more for Thailand. This is quite harmful for Thailand's export industry. What do you think about Thailand's economy in 2025?
I think in the 2025 is still challenging, but whoever ready, and then you got to change. I had to mention to you that the tariff is coming, but I don't think that tariff is just coming for Thailand. Okay, and with the American new administration, the Trump administration, I think it's focused on globally, right? Who is his partner, who is his friend. So of course, I deeply believe the relationship between Thailand and the US are still quite well and very strong, right? But how are we going to implement for that? But come back that is our product that market must need it, and is our supply chain strong enough and have a good competitiveness in the market. If we do have it, and we don't worry too much about that. So with the geographic politics, I think the government need to do a good negotiation with different countries, right? So ensure that we don't be hit by unnecessary or unreasonable treat by the US. I think Thailand play an important role in the ASEAN, right? So we got to do a good discussion and negotiation on that. But I still come back with the private sector. Competitiveness is very important, right? Not just by the digitalization, innovation, or service. We are moving more service business, right? But most important, in the future, everybody has to be responsible for their supply chain. Can we build up a good and green supply chain? Especially the global talking about ESG. Even though the new administration in the US is not really focused on this one, but I believe that we only have one world in the world, in the earth. So how can we treat our environment? It becomes still a very important issue. So long view, I urge people to look at how to create more added value. And I just share with you some information. A lot of countries asking us to make sure that all our product can have a digital passport. Means that more transparency. You know where your material come from, your processing detail. Are you green enough? Are you taking more social responsibility? Right. So that's I still believe that ESG will be things that to help you to increase your competitiveness. So I told a lot of people like my company, we are doing all this ESG. ESG is not adding on your cost, it's reducing your cost, to increasing your competitiveness and make sure that your product bring more value to the market.
Yeah, as what you said about ESG policy in each company right now, it's necessary to as well to show your engagement to the society, and of course for the business environment here in Thailand, as in we see the tariff hike. Of course, it's not targeting Thailand but targeting China, but that spillover effect from China to Thailand would be very, very huge. So what do you think about that? The Chinese products influxing into Thailand's market. Some people say that this is quite dangerous.
I think that transparency, right? We don't compete with China. Basically the manufacturing in China and Thailand are totally different. But we had to make the difference, right? Even my business, whenever I see the Chinese manufacturing, they are really talking about quantity, big quantity and low cost. So we have been successful transformation our operation in Thailand. We're looking for more added value. So by the meaning of my company, we put on the certain new vision. We call the DIS plus. D means the digitalization. I means innovation. S means service. The plus means ESG. On these 4 points, how can we create the more value for the supply chain to then our customer knows that we are responsible manufacturing, right? And then we create the value. We don't want to do the trading business, but we becoming their business partner who are commit to the business and commit to the innovation, commit to create value. And most important, we commit to the social compliance, to the society. So be a good supplier, be a good partnership. I think you still win the business there.
Yeah, transparency and commitment are the keys. Thank you so much, Mr. Stanley Kang here, former chairman of Joint Foreign Chamber of Commerce and business leader in Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent.